All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Championship Rounds podcast. I'm Rob. I'm with Jake
What's up, guys?
and Nick.
How's it going?
This episode, we're going to be recapping what we saw at UFC 252, Steelpick versus Cormier 3. All right, so let's go through the prelims real quick here. So, start off the show, Kai Kamaka defeats Tony Kelly by unanimous decision. Chris Dawkins absolutely demolished Parker Porter by KO in the first round. Livina Souza defeats Ashley Yoder by unanimous decision. Danny Chavez defeats TJ Brown by unanimous decision. Generoba, this name again, Generoba defeats Felice Herrig again with a submission. Vink from Hell, Pachel over here, he defeated Jim Miller by unanimous decision. Jake, what do you got?
I got them all right. I know that.
Hey.
Besides Kamagi, he was thrown in late, so I added him in, but I knew he'd win. Dawkins looked really impressive. That was the older brother of the middleweight, Chris Dawkins.
I think it's Chris or Kyle. I don't remember which one it is.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But he was pretty impressive. I think they said he was around about 13 years before this, and this was his first shot. So, and then he was a cop too, so he had to go fly back. Had a job. He's got a job tonight, so that's pretty good. You go fight and then go fly back and be a cop. Yep. What else? Souza. That was a pretty boring fight. John DeRobo was pretty impressive on the ground. She was pretty slick, got a really good armbar. And Pichel, that was a big win. He dominated him on the ground. That was a solid fight. Miller looked good at the beginning, but then Pichel just took over and controlled it for the last 2 rounds on the ground.
I feel like for half of these prelim fights, I was paying attention, but it was kind of one of those things where you look for 10 seconds because we had double TV action. So I just remember the Kamaka fight. I don't necessarily remember he won, but I remember him getting kicked in the, the nuts. I mean, what else do you want me to say? And he waited 4 minutes and 50 seconds to come back. I mean, he almost took the whole 5 minutes. He was taking his sweet time. But my favorite fight of the prelims easily was Dawkins versus Porter. I'm not going to name why. We got a inside joke for that. But let me tell you, Parker Porter, there's nobody I've ever seen that does a better job of getting knocked down than that guy. The guy was got knocked down 3 times, was getting absolutely tool bagged. I hope we see him again. Honestly, I think he should fight Stipe for the belt next. And that's just honest because he can take a punch and still keep going. That's why I like him. I think he's a top 10 heavyweight.
Sarcasm.
The Chavez fight, I honestly don't remember that. I'm not going to give my word on that. I remember the Souza and Yoder fight. Yoder fight was it was pretty boring. But yeah, the submission by Yandaroba, I always get the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure I picked her anyways. Felice Herrig has been around for about 80 years. And then Pichel, I picked Jim Miller because he's a veteran. I thought he'd maybe win, but not surprised he lost because he's lost. He has 15 losses, so it's not really a big surprise. But yeah, that's kind of all I got on the prelims.
I was shocked that I got all these fights right on the prelims.
I got most of the main
never happens.
I got 4 of the main card fights exactly right, or 3.
Yeah, I went down the hill on the main card then.
Yeah, I'm always doing the ESPN pick'em, and I always get 99% right, and I always miss 2 of them or something. It's it's rough. All right, starting with the main card, Merab Dvalishvili defeated John Dodson by a unanimous decision. Then Dvalishvili, after the fight, called out Sean O'Malley. Very peaceful.
We gotta wait on that fight now.
Yeah. But what do you got, Jake?
I figured this was how it was gonna go. Dvalishvili is a cardio machine. He fought his fight, Dodson did a really good job getting up off the ground when he took him down, but there was nothing he could do. He was waiting for that one punch, and when fighters wait for that one opening, there's no time left, and you're going to lose the fight.
And let's be honest, it's John Dodson. It's not like it's Francis. The guy
Yeah,
doesn't.
exactly. And I mean, Francis makes that one shot. He's not going to just sit back and wait for it. But no, Diffishilly looks really good. I mean, he could certainly make some noise in the bantamweight division. But yeah, that's the performance I expected from him.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to wait for that Sean O'Malley fight. I mean, maybe they fight each other next, but I don't know.
Yeah, in about a year. But yeah, sure.
Maybe
Yeah,
2.
it's kind of like tough. But Davishilly, he looked very good against a veteran like Dodson. He's going in there. I know Dodson's a smaller guy, fought a lot of his career at 125, but that's still like to be able to go in there against someone that has a lot of experience against top level guys at like a certain weight at 125. It's pretty good. He won all 3 rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards, and I agree with that. So we'll see who's next for him. He called out O'Malley. It's probably not going to be O'Malley. He's probably going to get someone higher than him because O'Malley's going to go. He was at 14. Now he's going to be about he's not going to be ranked, but probably like 20 for Christ's sakes at this point. So, I mean, the Sugar Show. We'll talk about that later.
You mean the Cheeto Show?
Boy. All right.
We're getting there.
All right. Up next, we had Daniel Pineda defeating Herbert Burns by TKO.
Ooh.
This was a huge upset.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody picked Pineda to win. This was Pineda's first fight in the UFC in like 8 years, I think they said, 7 years, something like that. The guy's a scrapper, though. Burns, tried to wrestle him and control him on the grappling, and he fought back really well. I mean, there was one I remember. Burns had his back, and he hit him with an elbow to the head, straight to the face, and he beat him down. I was surprised. Burns looked brutal. That was not a good performance. I expected far better than that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens to Burns now because he was kind of building his way up. That kind of pushes him back. I remember he finished him with elbows, right? On the ground with elbows.
It might have just been hammer fist because he had him crucifixed. So
I thought I remember.
Yeah, it's officially down his elbows.
Is it elbows?
I remember him cracking him with like a big elbow. I know O'Malley got cracked with an elbow too. I don't think I'm thinking of that though. But yeah, I expected Herbert Burns to win. I think we all picked him. I think we all picked him by like submission or to finish him. I don't think any of us picked by decision. Yeah. So, and the fact that he got finished is kind of, that's just what happens when we all pick the same fighter. It's a given.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not impressed with Herbert at all. So who knows what happens to him next? But Pineda,
this was a gimme fight for him. This was just a fight to boost his stock. There it is. I was waiting for it.
That's
no, yeah, that was a fight to boost his stock, and he couldn't even win that. So yeah. I don't know where he goes from here.
What is he, like 11-5 now or something like that?
11-3.
11-3, yeah.
11-3.
It's not.
All right, stop ringing. I get it.
Yeah, so he's not in like dire moments now. He can still build back up, but
if he loses his next fight, then yeah, he's toast.
That's a problem.
Yeah, but that was a bad loss though. 27-13. Yeah, come on.
Maybe just I don't know. He could have had an injury in camp, but you never friggin' know.
Nah, he just looked brutal.
Yeah,
he just got outperformed.
To get crucifixed on the ground and then destroyed, that you got to be really like tired or just not ready to fight. He also missed weight too. I remember Joe saying that. Yeah, he was pretty far overweight. So
yeah,
I don't know. It might have been an injury.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't try in training. Maybe he missed weight. He's probably eating the donuts. He wasn't in the gym. He wasn't doing anything. So maybe that's what happened.
Well, rip Herbert Burns.
Yeah.
That's all we got to say. All right, up next, Junior Dos Santos, mustache and all, gets absolutely knocked out by Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Hey, what do you got, Nick?
Rozenstruik, he had to win this fight by knockout. If you go to a decision or you lose to Junior Dos Santos, your career goes. He got knocked out by Francis. He might be the first fighter ever, because I know he had a knockout win in like 10 seconds. He might be the first fighter ever to win a fight in 10 seconds and also lose a fight in 10 seconds. He might have a record there, but I picked him by second round knockout. This is what I expected. I didn't expect Junior to do anything really. If I remember the beginning of the fight, I don't really remember Junior landing too much that was like insane. So I mean, maybe he shouldn't have done the whole mustache thing. I don't think it was good luck or anything. But yeah, I mean, Rosenstruck need to win that fight to stay in contention for a title shot in the future. And then after the fight, he said something like, "Yeah, once I win the title, I'll give a shot to Francis." After, buddy, you're gonna have to go through Francis to get to the title. Like, is he stupid? Like, he's gonna get his lights knocked out again. So that's whatever. But no, he looked fine. But I mean, you're fighting a 40-year-old, so you should win. That's all I have on that.
I was getting a little worried though. I had first round knockout, but he did what I expected to do in the second. But see, when JDS can keep his distance and just throw kicks and this and that, that's his fight, you know. And I was getting really scared that he was going to win that fight. But finally, Rosenstruck decided, yo, let me move in on this guy. He, you know, his back's against, he had a smaller octagon, so it wasn't really much for him to go besides the fence. He's on the outside, so you just rush him, and look what happens. You knock him out. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me that this guy just came from fighting Andrei Arlovsky to splitting Overeem's face in half to getting knocked out by Francis and then beating a 40-year-old, and now he's going to be top 5. But
yeah, probably getting knocked out by Derek Lewis or something.
I don't know if that's a good thing for the heavyweight division or a bad thing. I like this kid. I think he's definitely got talent, but I don't know. There's something missing that he needs.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he needs a win. He needs to beat either like Lewis or Blades to really kind of get him in there. Because if he fights those guys and loses, then he's clearly not a top 5 contender.
I'm going to be honest with you. No matter who goes what with the heavyweight belt or whoever wins it and Blades gets a shot at it, it's going to be really tough for them to beat Blades because he's a wrestler. And
yeah, that's true.
No one else is like that in the heavyweight division. So
I think Francis, though, like, he's a different animal now. I wouldn't want to go for his friggin' legs, like, and try to take him down, because if he just friggin'...
Well, he's already tried that, twice and failed, so Francis definitely has his number.
Like, I can see somebody trying to go down at his legs. Francis stuffs it and just, like, hammer fists him right in the side of the head.
That's what I'd be worried about. Or, like, a knee. Imagine a Francis knee probably does not feel good right in the fucking kisser. Does not feel good.
Even ask Cain Velasquez when he shot. He got an uppercut.
Dude, Cain Velasquez doesn't even know where he is anymore, probably, after all the fights he's been in, so I don't know if I'd ask him.
He had a little stint in the WWE, now he's nowhere. They cut him as soon as possible.
He's probably in Bellator somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar 3. What do you mean?
Wait, Cain or is it Shane?
Yeah, Shane. No, his new
Velasquez. Shane McMahon and Cain Velasquez together.
That'd be
jumping off the top of Hell in a Cells. All right, is that all we got for that?
Yeah.
All right, up next was the big one. Marlon Vera demolishes Sean O'Malley.
All right, chill with the demolish, but all right.
No, so Sean O'Malley, before the fight, he's on social media talking all this trash.
Oh, dude, those posts were brutal.
Yeah, no, he's posting Snoop Dogg. Was it Snoop Dogg? I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Snoop Dogg screaming, O'Malley, and he captions it, Marlon's girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
Sean's doing some crazy things. You know, he dyed his hair the colors of the Ecuadorian flag just for Marlon. So he was really confident going into this fight, and then he rolls over his foot, and yeah, everything goes downhill from there. Jake, what do you got?
That was just sad. I'll say it was sad. I mean, did it hurt the stock a little? It's still intact. The hype is still there because he kind of beat himself.
Yeah.
He didn't really lose. His body just gave out on him. I mean, they said there was no structural damage to the leg in the x-rays. They think it's ligament or nerve. I thought it was nerve because when you can't put your foot down straight and it keeps curling on you, past fighters have had that, and it's usually nerve damage. So I don't know. He beat himself. He couldn't stand. The thing that was tough, though, was when he went down. Vera obviously knew what was going on. He just grabbed one leg. He went down. He couldn't get back up. The finish sucked. If he could have just lasted through the 20 seconds and then you get a doctor stoppage, okay, you didn't really lose. Your leg gave out. You know, the injury sucks, but you can recover. now when you see it says, TKO by elbows. That's not a good look. You don't want that on your record. But I don't know. Good for Vera. Cheeto looked. I don't know. I don't know. Was it a fluke win? Yeah, it was. I don't know. I think the hype train's still there. I think he'll recover just fine. Vera didn't do anything really to impress me in that fight. He can say whatever he wants. He can call it the Cheeto show. He can do whatever. I don't know. It was a weird win, but I guess he'll take it. But I think Sean comes back, and I think he's fine.
So if that MRI doesn't show anything, then what do you think about it?
Well, obviously it was something.
Well, what if it just isn't anything? He was just overreacting.
He wasn't. There's literally no.
What if? I'm asking what if. I'm not asking if that it is, but I'm asking what if.
So you're gonna what if he can't put his foot down? He tried to replant his foot twice and he couldn't put it down.
Bruh.
So there is no what if. There was definitely something wrong with it. And he fell down earlier in the fight too. He staggered a little, so there was something wrong. Even overreacting, you could tell because right away he went on the defense. You could see him lift the foot up like there was nothing there. There was no fight. Like he could try to, catch him with a shot, but that wasn't going to happen. So.
Yeah, once I saw him limping around, I'm like, that's going to hinder his movement and everything, which is something he needs. And I'm like, once he injured that, I was like, I don't see him winning this fight because something's going to happen where, he's on one leg. Unless he hit him with a right hand or something. If this goes to the ground, he's going to lose. If this goes to decision, he'll lose because he's not going to land the amount of strikes that he usually would because he can't move around like he usually would. Once it went to the ground, there wasn't a lot of time left, but I kind of figured it was over. Once he hit him with that elbow and I saw his head go back, I'm like, all right, game over.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the stoppage at all. I think it was a good stoppage. Herb knew that if he went down, he wasn't getting back up, I just wish on Sean's part, he should have defended those better.
Yeah.
He ate 2 of those clean. So, Herb's going to stop. 1, you're already damaged, and then 2, you're just going to sit there and eat elbows and not defend yourself. It is what it is.
Yeah, I do. I don't think the hype train's done yet, but I do think he needs to win his next fight once he gets back from the injury. And, he has to win by knockout or something. Like, he has to make sure he continues how he's doing. He can just say I was injured last fight, so that's why I lost, but he has to prove that that's why he lost.
That was just unfortunate. The thing to go wrong in that fight to make him lose happened.
Yeah. It's not like it was the first time that he's hurt himself in a fight either, so.
Yeah, this will be the second time he's had a layoff due to injury.
Yeah.
He won that fight though last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this was his first ever loss.
Yeah. It sucks to see, win or lose. If he lost clean, okay, the hype train's over this or that, but that's just a freak thing to happen.
Yeah, he couldn't plan for that.
All right, main event time.
Stipe
Miocic defeats Danielle Cormier.
Danielle,
yeah,
Danielle. You still gonna disrespect the guy now?
Nah, Daniel Cormier. He beats DC by unanimous decision.
I'm not going to say I called it, but I called it. I said Stipe by decision. I said, but it went a little bit different than how I expected. I expected to be on the ground at some point, just never really got there.
Yeah, because DC goes, I know I can't stand 5 rounds with Stipe Miocic, and he proceeds to stand 5 rounds with Stipe Miocic.
Yeah. Okay, but think about it though. First round, right? He shoots. Stipe gets right back up.
Yeah.
DC, there had to have been something that DC knew, I can't keep this guy down, or I can't take this guy down without gassing myself up.
Yeah. I will say, though, I gave a slight edge to DC in round 1, and then maybe in round 4. Most people did. Dana even said he had a 2-2.
Yeah, Jake wasn't feeling it. I was talking with him while watching it.
Man,
he says Stipe won the fight 5 rounds to 0.
No, realistically, I said 4-1. But if you say 3-2,
I don't know about that because I will say though, DC landed some bombs on Stipe that were that cracked him. The elbows, once they got out of the clinch, cracked him 5.
Okay, 6. Yeah, that's the other thing too. What the hell did these guys train? So you saw it. Literally, that was like taking a trilogy and just mashing it into one fight. You saw the same thing that knocked Stipe out. He ate the same shot like 14 times. So he obviously didn't like train for that. And then DC kept eating body shots, which beat him in the second fight. What are these guys doing? So the two things that beat them in the first and second fight, they threw at each other, and I don't know, they were more prepared for it, but they didn't block it.
I would definitely say DC's gonna win that first round, all the cards, because at the end of that round, the judges are gonna remember Stipe getting cracked, and literally, if the cage was not there, Stipe would have hit the ground. He went like that and was like up against the cage. Both of them would have been screwed in round 1 for Stipe or round 3 for DC. If the round was any longer, they could have been finished.
The only round I'll give DC is the first, and that's even like iffy because Stipe smoked him for striking stats. Yeah, it wasn't even close. I mean, you could give it to him because of the takedown. He got him down, but he scrambled right back up. But, with the judges, you don't know how they
stats-wise was definitely Stipe, but in terms of big power shots in that first round, it was DC in the first round. I mean,
depends who you get judging it. What do you go off of? What's real or by looks,
I mean, it depends on what we count as a strike. I mean, look at Usman. He's getting toe strikes and stuff.
Yeah, but that's, I don't expect anything more from him. But then you look at the fourth round, and people are like, okay, this is DC's round. It's 2-2. How? He outstruck him by 7, but Stipe had, 3.5 minutes of control time?
Yeah. But I like to look at the stats, but at the same time, if I look at eye test and I just see, let's just say you land 5 jabs, but then the other guy lands like an absolute bomb of a right, I'd take that one right over the 5 jabs. So, like...
Yeah, but they weren't throwing jabs, though. Those guys they were throwing haymakers all fight.
I will say, though, DC caught him a few times, especially out of the clinch, and in that first round, he cracked him.
That was the other thing on the first round. He staggered him. I forgot about that. That's why I gave DC the first. Yeah. But everything else I couldn't give to DC. I'm sorry. Hate me, but DC had no chance in that fight. It should have been over in the second round.
Yeah.
I knew right away when the ref didn't, DC should thank Dominic Cruz for the ref not stopping that fight, and just letting it go because he was getting absolutely wailed on. And I knew right away after the ref didn't stop that, you were going to a decision. 100%.
Stipe, though, would have been screwed in that first round if it was an extra minute. He got cracked. That cage, they kept them both up. Like in the 2 instances where Stipe even said after the fight, he's like, he cracked me in that first round. He said, when I looked up and saw him, I was surprised I could still see him because I thought I was out. So, they both were screwed at one point.
But, DC didn't try to take him down again. He could have wrestled him. He took him down once. Stipe scrambled. And then he tried to go for, these little cheap, leg sweeps. Yeah. Stipe was too strong. He just held him. He controlled him. He outstruck him. I think Stipe dominated him.
If I'm Stiopic, I don't want anything of Francis. If Francis can, keep going and, just keep improving. That's a scary fight the second time. The first time, yeah, I get it. That was also 4 years ago. This is different.
I don't know. This was a really good performance by Stipe.
Yeah, that was crazy. 4 years ago.
That was 4 years ago. This is a different Francis, and Stipe's just getting older. I just think and don't Stipe count out my balls are hot. Don't count out. I got to go take a shit. Derek Lewis is coming, too. Don't worry about that.
I don't know. Do we I don't know. Let's talk about these eye pokes though.
Yeah. So
can we address these?
So DC gives the first eye poke, and Stipe right? Was it 2? I think it was. Was it?
See, look,
one bad one and one kind of little one that Stipe just kind of went like that with, but I think he got him twice.
But let's be real. Stipe took all those 55 eye pokes from the first 2 and those last ones in the third, and just put it in one finger and stuck DC right in the eye.
His finger was in his friggin' brain.
he was scratching his brain for him 100%. I've never seen a fighter's eye look that bad ever.
He straight tore his cornea. And dude, you know what pissed me off the most thing about that? Mark Goddard gets him in the corner and goes, "Don't worry, buddy. You just got punched." Yeah, go watch the tape, Mark. He got a finger shoved in his eye socket.
But also, though, DC did the same thing with Stipe, and Stipe
So, yeah.
had to get LASIX and get his retinas repaired. So
I mean, DC might not
do
be
we
able to.
say it's an eye for an eye? Do we
Yeah.
just leave it at that? I mean,
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional, though.
no, it
That's the
wasn't at
thing.
all. I
It's not
think
like
that's
that.
the
Like
stupidest thing.
neither of them were intentional. It's just that they have problems with eye pokes for some reason.
I blame Jon Jones solely for that because he's the only fighter that puts his hands out to keep the distance. And then DC's like, well, let me beat Jon Jones. I can't beat him. I might as well do the same thing he does.
If you can't beat him, you got to beat him.
Yeah, it worked. You blinded the guy in the second fight, and he still beat you blind.
Dude,
I didn't like how DC complained after the fight. I think that was a sad way to go out for him. I felt bad. That was a really bad eye injury. I hope he's okay.
I don't know
But you can't complain about eye pokes. You can't complain at all about eye pokes.
I don't know if he's going out. I know he says he's going out. I just have a weird feeling he's gonna fight. Like maybe he'll fight Peter Parker, whatever that guy's name is, just to like knock him out and go. But I mean, I don't know.
He says that if he's gonna fight again, it's gonna be for a title, and he doesn't see that happening. So
well, Jon Jones.
Well, hey, you can go win the light heavyweight now.
just give him a shot.
If Jon Jones wins the belt at heavyweight, maybe we'll give DC another fight just so we can beat him again.
I don't even want to see that. I don't even want to see that.
If I see Jon Jones lifting a heavyweight title, I'm gonna literally jump out my window. I won't be able to stand.
I want to put when though. It might not even be if. It might be a when.
No, him versus Francis. That's what I want to see.
He's never been defeated in that octagon. There's no other reason for us to think he's gonna be.
Nick, as much as I hate to say it, I think you're right.
It's just he's one of those guys where you just like,
right.
as much as you hate him, he's gonna win. So it doesn't matter what we say.
There's some hope out
I think you're right.
But speaking about you brought up Jon Jones. So he says he's vacating the title at light heavyweight and he's moving up to heavyweight. This is something that I think Jake and I never thought was ever going to happen because we always thought Jon Jones was going to dodge like crazy.
Yeah, this is like kind of a dream, right?
When you texted me Jones vacated the title, I'm like, bullshit.
Oh yeah, he texted me that too. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is on his own accord too, which makes no sense.
Personally, I'm not actually.
Is he going to start getting humble on us?
Is
he going to apologize to the pregnant lady that he did a hit and run on?
You love bringing that up, don't you?
Yeah, I do. That up. Is he going to not do cocaine before fights now? Is he not going to Is he not going to drive drunk?
No.
With an illegal firearm?
If we're moving up to heavyweight, he's doing more of that stuff.
Yeah.
If anything,
he told DC, I beat you on a weekend where I did cocaine the week before, so it actually works out pretty good. So maybe he can just keep that up. If he does a quick line before he goes to fight Francis,
double it up a little. Double it up. Add another one. You
hit two bumps and then go beat Francis. Easy.
Yeah. Like a head kick. I don't know. I got a notification and it said Dom Reyes versus Jan Blachowicz, or however you say his name, Blachowicz. And I said, "There's no way that's not for the light heavyweight."
Yeah, it has to.
It wasn't even confirmed yet, and then Jon Jones tweeted, "I, relinquished the belt and this and that." So because that only made sense. I'm like, why would you make this fight? You don't need to. Jan was already the number one contender. Or Jon Jones said he was the number one contender, but this makes things a lot more interesting for the light heavyweight division now. I think it's all but confirmed that that's the fight, and it's going to be for the vacant belt, and it's supposed to be on the Adesanya and Costa card.
Which is going to be nice. That looks like a good card on paper, but you never know with these good cards on paper anymore.
Yeah, I mean, so far they're still making it. If that's a co-main, that's huge. That's a really big fight. I think Dom Reyes can win that fight, but we'll get there once the card's set.
I just think Dom Reyes. A lot of people compare Dom Reyes to Jon Jones, how he was. I mean, let's not do that. But I mean, he's definitely a good fighter. I wanted to see Reyes versus Jones too, but to be honest with you, as much as we might not like Jon Jones in some cases, he would win that fight. He always looks better in the rematch. It's just a fact. And I mean, Joe Rogan was saying, which people can look at that how they want. He says that if the Dom Reyes versus Jon Jones fight was a 10-round fight, Jon Jones would have won rounds 6 through 10, no doubt. So, I mean, I think that he's just referring to, Jon Jones just has, a warrior mentality when he needs to win. So I just think he would win that rematch, personally. That's just my opinion. But we'll probably never see it.
But yeah, I don't think he's gonna go back. I'm surprised on his part though, because Jon Jones definitely seems like the type of dude to me that would want to walk around with the 2 belts on his shoulders instead of the one, and be like, I'm actually the champ. I'm not like I won a belt, lost it, or relinquished it, and then came back and won another one. I was
He's
kind of
never
surprised to
lost his
see that.
belt. Like that.
No, not lose it, but he's either gotten it stripped or he, just lets go of it.
Just think of that though. Technically, if he never did anything wrong, he might have been like a light heavyweight champ for about 8 years straight.
Well, because the division sucks.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody. I mean, Reyes is your one shot, and I was even surprised at that during that fight because I really didn't think he had a chance.
But I mean, Jon Jones, like in the past 10 years, has blown through about everyone that they freaking put in front of him.
Yeah, well, he was fighting dudes on roids, like, Vitor and this and that, and then he was on roids, so you just had two, like, juice to the gill guys going at it, and you got a sick fight, but Jon Jones always won.
Yeah.
Now, who does Jon Jones fight first at heavyweight, though? Does he fight Stipe? Just go right to it?
To be honest with you, do you want me to be honest with you? I think Jon Jones, I think it's scarier to fight Francis than Stipe. For some reason, I just think he does better against Stipe than he would against Francis.
I saw a great thing in one of the comments, and I thought this was a great idea. You have you have Stipe and Francis fight for the belt because you can't skip over Francis again. All right.
Yeah, not again.
The guy's been waiting for over a year now. Give him a shot. I saw something that was this was an interesting fight that, for me at least. You had Jon Jones and have him move up to heavyweight and get a tune-up fight Curtis Blades.
Oh, that would be a good one, though, yeah.
2 heavyweight wrestlers, that could be very interesting.
People sleep on Jones's wrestling low key though. Like they just think he's just a striker. He's crazy.
He's a great wrestler, and I think that'd be a really fun fight to watch.
Yeah, I think Blades would have to get him down and dominate there. Because standing up, I don't think he would really stand a chance with the distance.
I don't know. Like his striking's not that bad. He's definitely got knockouts. Jones has far superior striking, but that would be a fun fight. That would be a really fun fight.
I don't believe Francis's reach is much more than like John's, because I think
Jones has the biggest reach in the UFC.
Even over Francis?
Yeah.
Let me see, because Francis is 83. I thought Jon Jones was 81.
I think he has 80. They might have the same. Either way, that's still gross that Jones has that long of a reach and he's not even a heavyweight.
It doesn't. 84 and a half. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's
insane.
Close though. That would be the closest in terms of reach that John's ever fought someone like where it's like basically the same.
Oh yeah, for how big Jones is, that's crazy that he's never fought at heavyweight.
Yeah.
He probably should have been fighting at heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean for his even OSP, like when he moved out, he lost obviously, but for his body type, he looked really good.
Yeah, when was the last time we saw him fight?
Didn't he just
He's fighting this Saturday.
Didn't he just
Is he really? No, you're kidding.
He's fighting in the Coleman.
Like a month ago?
Yeah.
He is. What?
He fought Ben Rothwell at heavyweight.
Oh, this card actually looks kind of decent. We probably should have done a preview, but
yeah, but once Yoel dropped off, though, it was just
we won't do it. Maybe never.
No, he would have. I think Yoel could have won that fight because it wasn't a title fight. He's like Joseph Benavidez, but at 185.
Then Bisping would have had a fantastic time talking about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Making fun of how he sucks. Ever seen that video? Yeah, where he has the face cut out.
the fight that never happened that everybody wished it did.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think Jones, that heavyweight is going to happen, and I think if he wants his paycheck, this is where he's going to make it now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think after this past Saturday and everybody saw Stipe in DC, people want to see this fight now. Me personally, I want to see Stipe and Jones over Francis and Jones.
Yeah.
I really think Jones has a very solid chance of beating Francis compared to Stipe.
I think maybe we'll see a tweet after if Jones wins the belt and Connor's going to be like, I'm moving up 40 pounds to heavyweight. Fuck all you.
No, he's retired now. Have you not heard Dana? Conor McGregor's retired. Is Conor McGregor? There you go. I'd say it. He's retired.
Yeah, because he hasn't
so much at the beginning of the year. Oh, he's gonna fight 4 times this year.
It makes no sense too, because even when Dana says that, he's like, he's retired. He's not fighting this year. Okay,
Yeah,
retired means you're never fighting again. So I don't know why you need to throw in this year. That means he's not retired. I mean, obviously we know he's not
he's
retired.
gonna have to eat. You know why they said he's in the rankings still? Because apparently he's still getting tested by like USADA and everything, which means he could technically still fight. Cejudo
Oh,
was in the
that reminds me of something. But keep going.
he took his name out the testing pool. So McGregor's still getting tested, which means he could fight at any time. So he's not retired. Cejudo actually technically.
Because one fighter that's trying to get back into that testing, to try and get his comeback going, is Rumble Johnson.
Yeah, I know. It's only been 2 years now since he said he was coming back, but still waiting.
The more he waits, it's gonna be bad for him, in my opinion. He just keeps waiting.
But now, if he finally comes back, right, that he's gonna go probably plopping right back to the light heavyweight division. What does he do there? It's like, does he win the title again? Does he challenge for it?
I think right away he'll challenge for it just because he's a name.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll win, but I think he'll definitely challenge for it.
I think Dom Reyes beats him. To be honest, I don't know. I just feel like that would be the case in that fight.
Yeah, I think Dom beats Jan, and I don't really see anybody else in that division like stepping up to beat Reyes either.
Unless somebody comes like out of nowhere, which we might see. You never know.
John Walker's coming back, boys.
Yeah. He'll just lose 7 times before he gets up there again.
I don't know. I hope this isn't going to turn into, well, it's already kind of that division, but you know how like Weidman made the jump up to light heavyweight and lost, and Rockhold. It's going to be one of those divisions where
OSP should go back down and challenge for the title.
I think he is. I think he's back at light heavyweight this week.
Oh, dude, you should do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had the one and done. Because these guys seem to move up, lose, and then they go back.
Yeah, he's at light heavyweight. What the hell?
OSP's facing Alonzo Menafield, light heavyweight, co-main event.
Absolutely just destroy. Maybe Alonzo Menafield wins another 2, 3, 4 fights. Maybe you can get up there. You never know.
I don't know. This is going to be a division where it's going to be like heavyweights dropping down to light heavyweight, or
maybe
middleweights moving up.
Dude, we left out the top contender, Shogun.
Don't say Shogun.
Shogun's coming back to fight one more time.
Paul Craig,
Craig, after they got a unanimous decision unanimous draw last year. How about that?
Dude, honestly, imagine losing to Shogun at this point of his.
Imagine getting a draw with Shogun at this point. Oh man!
Imagine fighting Shogun, because that's when you know you're down the tube.
Why is Shogun still fighting? Why?
I don't know.
I love the guy. I love this old stuff, but like now it's just getting stupid.
I don't know. This is like the vintage tour.
I think we should bring back like all the old guys. Just bring back like every single old fight. Bring back Couture. Bring back Matt Hughes. I don't know if he'd be in the right condition.
He's not there yet.
I mean, you could bring back. Chuck
Liddell. Bring back Tito
Liddell
Ortiz.
as Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Couture is gonna beat them all. All right, the man suffered a heart attack and then walked from the gym to the hospital. So right there, guy's an animal.
Yeah. Beat them all, and then you can bring back.
Dana White's gonna make a new division. It's gonna be the old man division, the elder division.
Yeah, I mean it would be full of Brazilians. I mean you could get Vitor, you could put Junior down there. You could put Nogueira in there, Shogun in there, Hector Lombard,
Trinaldo.
You could get them all the old.
Weird Doom. You got everybody.
Jesus, you could get Fedor. You could finally bring him in there. Roy Nelson, Mark Hunt. I mean, the 35 or older division. That's what it'd be called. No weights, no weight classes. Trinaldo can fight Fedor if he wants to. We don't care about weights. It's just age. You have to be 35 or older.
The seniors club.
The seniors club.
The AARP. The AARP division.
The nursing home.
Oh
man. All right. Is that all we got?
Yeah.
Do we just want to quickly give our predictions for like the co-main event and main event for next week or on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll give
sure.
I'll just give mine. I'm saying Alonzo Menafield by second round TKO, and I'll put Pedro Munez by decision.
I'm gonna say OSP second round Von Flue choke. Because why not? I don't know. Edgar and Munoz. Edgar sucks now, so I'll go Moon. Yeah, I'm gonna go Munoz by decision also.
Honestly, Rob, what you just said, Menafield by second round TKO, and then Munoz by decision. That's what I have. There's nothing really to.
Yeah, we would go through this whole card, but we don't want to. So I see a few names in here that are pretty cool, but like Maria Agapova.
I saw. Yeah, she's fighting again. She was awesome in her first fight.
She's fighting Shannon Dobson, who's 3-4. So I think we know who's going to win that.
Look at the line. She's a minus 1,000 favorite.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I mean, she made a big splash. That's why he's got the push out now. You know, he's like, all right, front of the line.
Yeah, another one. I know Joe Selecki. He's from Contender Series. He should be able to win this. Yeah, so Joe Selecki there. But other than that, it's not really anything crazy.
It's not a nuts card. It's just kind of like a 2-fight card, and even that, watch one of them.
It's just something to watch on a Saturday night.
Yeah, am I gonna watch it? Absolutely, but you know.
Am I gonna?
You might not even. We're not even gonna review this one. So,
absolutely not.
Yeah, we're not gonna review it. Maybe we'll. Well, what's up after that? Anthony Smith versus Alexander Rakic.
Oh my God! Don't even talk about that card,
dude. That's
because Yair and Zabit that fight fell through.
And the Magomed fights there. Yeah, move to that.
Oh,
and Maki Pitolo's coming back to fight again. Chikazdi's over there. That's actually not that horrible of a card. It's just it's just like, honestly, yeah. I'd rather want to see Robbie Lawler versus Neil Magny as the main event.
You don't sleep on that fight. That could be a good fight.
Honestly, yeah. Robbie Lawler really needs a win, but we'll maybe preview that.
Imagine if Magny wins that fight. Oh my God, that'll be huge for him.
Dude, Robbie Lawler, think about him. He doesn't even have to be a good fighter. He'll always be able to take a punch. That's the one thing about that guy.
Oh yeah, he's just tough. His
whole face could be falling off, and he'll still do that.
All right, is that all we got, boys?
That's it. Jon Jones is a heavyweight. Let's go. Let's go.
A heavyweight division's much more fun now. Maybe, honestly, I'm praying to every god that there is. Even though I believe in one, I'm going to pray to all of them that he gets knocked out by somebody. That's all I want. I just want the satisfaction.
Lose my mind.
I want the satisfaction. I just really want the satisfaction of seeing it.
That'd be so crazy.
Yeah, who do you think he's going to get knocked out by? Probably Mark Hunt, actually. I think we should bring him back.
That's coming on.
Dude, that'd be a great tune-up fight. Mark Hunt, bring him back versus Jon Jones, first fight at heavyweight. That's still thousands, millions of pay-per-views.
Why don't you do Parker Porter?
Oh, that'd be great. Do a little. How about we do Mark Hunt versus Parker Porter? Winner fights Jon Jones. You just can't get much better than that.
There you go.
All right. That's all we got for this episode. I want to thank you guys for watching another episode of the Championship Rounds podcast. If you like what you saw, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to our Apple podcast feed. It's called the Sports Life Network. Till next time, I'm Rob. That's Jake. That's Nick. Peace.